Hey guys, welcome back to another AFL fantasy video. Round 6 is over, and today's one we're going to go through and see how my team went. We're also going to look at some trade options that I have ahead of round 7, and also be answering heaps of your questions sent in on Twitter. Now, before I get into this one, make sure you subscribe because I'll have weekly videos coming out for the rest of the year, so make sure you subscribe. So let's get into my team. As you can see here, it was quite of a disappointing round. I scored 2,093. It was just on that 2,100 mark until I got a negative 12 with, I think, 4 points got taken off Dangerfield, Constable, and Tim Kelly just before lockout lifted. So unfortunately, that pushed my ranking a little bit back as well to 2,069. So I went back in the rankings a little bit, but it's not too bad. It's definitely salvageable, and this week my goal is to get one extra rookie off the ground because I have been playing with seven since round one. So this week is the first time I'll be getting a rookie off my ground, and I'll be looking to downgrade and upgrade from here until the buys. So let's get into my team. In the back line, Lockie Whitfield, 39. Disappointing, but every team's going to get those injuries throughout the year, so yeah, I copped that one. I'll just cop it on the chin, and if he plays, I'll be keeping. But if he's under any sort of doubt, I'll probably be trading him because his break even is just so high, and there's a lot of value in the defense at the moment. So I could capitalize on that, but I would like to hold him because he would definitely be top two defenders by the end of the year. Jake Lloyd got tagged for an 85. It's actually quite good considering that I thought he wasn't even going to reach 50 at one stage, but yeah, he just picked his way and he got to 85. So, um, yeah, the tag is becoming a real pain in the ass for um, fantasy coaches this year. But yeah, hopefully he should bounce back this week. Brody Smith, 108, really pleased with him. Last few weeks, he's just shown me why I've picked him. That's absolute weapon off halfback. I just really hope that he doesn't start getting tagged. But yeah, he's making good money for me. Scrimshaw, 77, also making really good money for me. I think he was on 50. He was on 41 at quarter time, and then 58 at the half, I think. And gee, he was on track for a massive score. And I think he was on 63 points for about quarter and a half. He did not get a touch at all. Didn't do anything. So yeah, it was disappointing. But you got to look at it overall, and I'll take 77 from him. So that's all right. And Hoare, 68. He's still got a really low break even. Like he's just making me a lot of money there. Sydney Stack, 54. Oh well, it's disappointing having Dersmer on the bench there, 90, and then Stack with the 54 on ground. But yeah, you win some, you lose some with that. I'd sent Dersmer to the bench after a couple 50 disappointing weeks, and then of course the one week I benched him, he bangs out a 90. So disappointing, but yeah. Then I had Lockhart, 42 on the bench there as well, so he's making a little bit of cash for me. Heading into the midfield now, Cornelio, 115. He was on 60 at quarter time, I think, and then he just he got tagged after Whitfield went down, and also he had a bit of trouble with his hand. I think he was wearing a glove later in that match, but yeah, luckily he got those 4 goals, which really helped him get to 115. Brayshaw and Crouch, they're just sort of kind of mediocre again. But Matt Crouch is the only player that hasn't gone under 100 yet, so that's pleasing. But yeah, he just hasn't really shown us the ceiling that he did in round one since then. And but so it's looking like the better options would have been to start Taranto instead of those two. But I just hope they're going to finish top 8 mids. Rocky got 107. Put the C on him. I thought he was going to go bigger, and it looks like looked like he was going to go bigger, but he copped a bit of attention and slowed down there. But yeah, I still got to take 107 from him, even though put the VC on Gorn. Probably should have put it on Grundy, but yeah, I didn't lose too many points there. Brad Crouch, 102. Really pleased with him, his efforts this year. He's made a lot of money for me, as well as Libba. Disappointing this week, 57, but he did have, I think it was most or second most centre bounces with 20 for the Bulldogs. So it's not that, it's just the fact that he's not really getting his hands on it, he's not really tackling at all. So they're the two major concerns for him, but I'm going to back him in, and I hope he bounces back this week against the Bulldogs. Because yeah, I prefer getting a rookie off my ground instead of him off my ground, but we'll see. Walsh 74, he's still making a fair bit of cash for me, so got to be happy with that. He's almost 600k. He's an absolute jet. Walsh. Constable 83, pretty solid from him. He's making a lot of. He's going to get to 500k as well, I think. So that's really pleasing with him. Now we get to Jackson Hately. You guys have no idea how frustrated I was. I thought I was doing the smart thing, right? And I used the trade. I traded Clark, and I used Sydney Stack, so I put him into my back line, and then I got in Hately because I thought Hately had the better job security out of Hately and Hayes. I thought Hayes might get dropped, wasn't too sure, but Hately, he was one of the better players for GWS. How could you fucking drop him? I do not understand how he could get dropped. Like, they just blamed it on the 18-year-old, I guess, and he just sent him back to the twos. I was so frustrated. I thought he was an absolute lock, but oh my gosh. And then obviously that happened, and the trade was locked in. I couldn't reverse it on the Thursday, or the Wednesday, sorry, it was. And then, yeah, that kind of just ruined my weekend. From there, I was just really pissed off with that. So I could have got Ross, who was 10k cheaper, but now Ross is just skyrocketing in price, and I won't be able to get him. So yeah, I was really disappointing with that, but don't want to talk about it. Will Hayes, 72, really good. Grundy and Gorn, looking like a really good combination. Witts has been really good as well with Mumford, but yeah, these two will be the top two rucks there. In the forward line there, Dangerfield, really pleased with him. He had a really great game. Tim Kelly got tagged, but he still got to a respectable 99. I'm really happy with him. Daniel, I'm happy I picked him up now. Like, he was on 60, I think, at three-quarter time, though, or 55, something like that, and he pulled out a 45-point last quarter, so I know he does have the ceiling, and sooner or later, I reckon he's going to get, sooner rather than later, I reckon he's going to have a 120 week. So yeah, Daniel was a good pickup for me, I think. And then Warple 86. He's not setting the world on fire, but you'll take that. And I think he's going to be a pivotal part of Hawthorn's midfield moving forward. So hopefully he can boost his scores. Drew 60. He's starting, one of those rookies starting to max out in price now. So I'll start to think about moving him on soon. But I think he's got 1 or 2 more weeks left in him. Myers there, 91. He's looking like one of the better cash cows this year. Really pleased with him. I picked him up, I think, round 2 or 3, and he's just been super solid for me since then. Petrocelli, 35. He's starting to max out as well. Might offload him this week. I'll talk about that soon. And then Atkins, 52. He's also starting to max out, but I think Petrocelli will probably max out before him. So yeah, I still had those 7 rookies on the ground this week. But hopefully next week I can get that down to 6, and we'll have a lot better week, and I'll get up inside that top 2k again. Because just look at that. Say if I had Boak instead of Whitfield there, that's 100 points that I lost out on. I could have got Boak a couple of weeks ago, by the way, from Dunkley, but I decided to get in Whitfield. So anyway, yeah, let's get into my trades. It is a Monday night, so obviously some of these trades may change before lockout. It is a normal week this week, so the first game's on that Friday. So I have all up until Friday night to finalise my trades. But just having a look through at all my break-evens of my players now, I have decided I want to get rid of Dersma. He has break-even of 46, and I'm happy with fielding Scrimshaw and Hoare. So by trading him, it will allow me to get Stack off my field. So at this stage, I'll be going Dersma and Petrocelli, who has a break-even of 30-something. I didn't see it there. And then I can get in from Dersma, sorry, I can put Caleb Daniel, if it lets me, Caleb Daniel back into my backline, and then I can get a Boak in. I think Boak's almost a must-have now. Like, he's just unbelievable. He's really killing me that I don't have him. And then I can just get in Larky, because look at some of the lower break-evens here. I missed out on Ross, disappointing, but yeah, Larky 82. I really liked his game. Hopefully he can keep up his form, but because I know that there's probably a 20 or 30 coming along the way. But yeah, can't really get Ainsworth. I would like him. I think he's the better option, but I might get him as well. But not. I just think like I would rather him. Sorry, but Larky because I'd rather downgrade Petrocelli than a Scrimshaw, for example, and then field Stack. So yeah, that's why I'm getting Larky over Ainsworth. So I could do these trades, but it doesn't leave me with much money in the bank for next week. But so that's getting another rookie off my ground. So then I'll just have Scrimshaw, Hoare, Walsh, Constable, and then Myers and Drew on my field. So that's looking like really good trades. But however, if Whitfield doesn't get named, I could, and he's not playing, then I'll probably trade him. Because look at his break even, 173. So I could go him to either Laird or Jones. I'm liking the look of Jones, Zach Jones here. Break even of 69. He's been playing really well in the Swans midfield. So I could get in Jones, and then that allows me to also do the Dersma to Boak. So it still does get a rookie off my field. That's why I don't want to trade Libba, because it's not really getting anywhere. I know he's getting another primo, but I just think Libba's got kind of just. I trust Libba over some of the rookies, if you know what I mean. So I do think Libba will bounce back this week, by the way. Allow me to get Boak. So I could do this. Leaves me at 8k, not too much as well. So I don't mind those trades. And then next week I'm aiming to get in Rory Laird. But hopefully I can reach him, because I won't have much money in the bank either way I go this week. But yeah, looking at some of the break evens, so Atkins is at 24. He's got maybe one more week left in him. Obviously, might be trading Petrocelli. Drew 48. He'll be one that I'm looking to upgrade next week to Laird. So I'll be able to go Drew and then swing Daniel back into my forward line and then get in Laird. So Daniel's really, really big for my team this year, because I'll be able to flick him forward and back every week when I look to get the trade in whoever I want at any point. So yeah, at this stage, if all things going well, Whitfield plays, I'll probably revert back to those original trades I said, which were Dersma out, and then swapping Daniel into my backline, and then Petrocelli out, and getting Larky and Boak, and then Larky. So yeah, those are the trades at this stage. Then we go over to my team here. And then we're looking pretty good for round 7. So yeah, will probably be the team I'll be heading into round 7 with. Let me know what your trades are in the comments down below. And if you need any suggestions, just leave a comment and I'll reply back in my opinion on them. And what are your thoughts on my trades? Also, let me know that down in the comments below. Now, see, I've got 20 questions here tonight, because I was going to record it last night, but my stupid computer, the recording thing didn't work, so I ended up having to do it tonight. But yeah, let's get into these questions and try and get through them all. Backyard Cricketer, he says, thoughts on Luke Shuey as an option? My other question is, who would you get in for Libba out of Cogs, Gaff, Boak? Gaff has a good run of games and he's a good pod. So I do like Shuey's a pod. I probably wouldn't be getting him. I think Cogs, Gaff, and Boak are all a lot better options than Shuey there. So in for Libba, I don't. Right, here's the thing with Libba. If you have the luxury to do it, then do it, because he's not a keeper. But at this stage, I'm just trying to get those rookies off my ground, and then in a few weeks' time, maybe 2 or 3, I'll be looking to get Libba out for a premium. So if you have the luxury, definitely get out Libba, because he didn't look good on the weekend. So out of Cogs, Gaff, and Boak, who would I bring in? Personally, I would go Boak, because you know that Boak is definitely going to be a top 1 or 2 forward, whereas Cogs, you think probably top 8 as well as Gaff, but you're not too certain. Like, there's a lot of good options around their prices, whereas Boak in the forward line, there's no one really putting their hand up. So I think Boak is the number 1 out of those guys, and then look, probably just go Gaff as the pod as a close second, and then Cornelio third. Anyway, let's get into the next question. Larry Bird, he says, Rich, Hooley, or Savage? Hooley, I like the look of Hooley. Rich probably a close second, and then Savage would be third. Um, Scott Fleming says, in a draft league, would you prefer Cripps and Dusty slash Warple at forward, or Shield slash Beams and Danger forward? Okay. Um, Personally, the second one, and I think probably Beamer. So if you can get Danger's probably a 110, I'd say, and Cripps is a 110. So I think they're both pretty equal, but then Beams is a lot better than Dusty or Wobble. So definitely the second one there, Scott. Aiden says, trading out Libba this week, can afford anyone. What's your top three choices? Okay, my top three choices for Libba. Number one, I'd probably say Boak. I think that Boak is close to a must-have this week, and if you have the luxury of getting him in your forward line, then go for that. Going back to, I mean, just to have a look here for you, I think that then another option would be that here he is, Braden Fiorini. He's a real cheeky pod, and I really like how people are doing it. It's pretty gutsy. I wouldn't do it, but if you want to get an edge up on the competition, I think it might be the way to go. So I'd say Boak, Fiorini, and then mm, that's pretty tough. I might even say Gaff. I really like the looks of Gaff. I think he does have a good run coming up, as you said. But I also like the looks of O'Meara, Neil, Cornelio, and Rocky if you don't have him. But if you can just get to any primo that's looking decent, then definitely get them for Libba. But yeah, as I've said, a few names there for you. Anyway, Kyle says, which structure of trade would you prefer to do? Okay. 1. Traditional Libba upgrade. So downgrade rookie, upgrade Libba. Shield, Merit, etc. Oh yeah, Merit's another option for Libba, who's really good option for Libba, actually. Forgot about him. So downgrade rookie, upgrade Libba, Shield, Merit. Yep. So down 2 would be downgrade Libba to 170k. Move Hayes on field in mid. 3 rooks on field, Walsh, Consta, Hayes, and then upgrade forward rookie to primo. This is a very interesting debate, and I was thinking the same thing, but I ended up thinking about holding Libba. So personally, you got to look at what you think people are going to score. So you look at Merit, right? So Merit, and then you'd be fielding one of those forward rookies. Sorry. So say you got Drew and Merit, for example. Drew's probably a 60. Merit is a 110, we'll say. So that gives you 170. So option 1 would give you 170. Option 2, would mean you go, so you got Hayes on field, so that'd be, I'd say 70, 75, so we give him 70, and upgrade forward rookie to primo. So let's say you got Drew off your field, and you get in Boak, for example. So I think Hayes is a 70, and Boak is a 105, so that's 175. So second just wins out. But however, if it's not Boak, say you've already got Boak, and it is someone like I don't know, Brad Ebert or Warple, someone like that, not not as good as Boak, then I would be going number 1. But if you definitely can get Boak, then go for the number 2, because you haven't really said. But I do prefer the 3 rookies on the midfield, because the rookies are more competent at scoring. I've gone with too long for that question anyway, Kyle. I hope that helped you out. Will O'Brien, he said, thoughts on doing Clark to Ainsworth, because, I think I'm saying that right, Ainsworth, not sure, because I can't see Clark getting back into the Geelong team, and then Libba to Boak. Yep, tick them off, big tick, good trades. Alan Petty says, what's your buy structure looking like? Is it influencing trades yet? I don't think I'm not sure if I showed you guys, but I have been looking at my buy structure recently. This is how it sits at the moment for anyone interested. By the way, Fantasy Gold, you can get this nice buy detector here, which is pretty good. I only take into account my premiums, their structure, because I don't think the rookies at the moment, like the rookies, you can flick them any week, so they're not a part of your buy structure, because you probably won't have them at the buy time. Anyway, the premiums, I'm not too concerned at the moment, but I am a bit worried about getting Boak in, because there's a lot of. See, I've got a few 12 and 13 buy-around players there, so that's a little bit concerning. But yeah, my overall structure is not too bad. There's a few 14s there, which I'm not too worried about. But yeah, it is starting to influence your trades, and just make sure you're not too clustered in any of the weeks. And apart from that, then yeah, that's all I can say with that. Um, who's the best unique primo mid for Libba? Likes of Jago O'Meara, Gaff, Shield, etc. I do like O'Meara, but I'm just worried about he's going to start copping attention from other teams because he is Hawks' best midfielder by a mile. So yeah, personally, best unique primo. I'd probably have to say Fiorini, and then Gaff close second there, and then Jago O'Meara. Why did I bring in Whitfield, and who do I trade him to? Yeah, it's a good question. Why did you bring in Whitfield? Maybe because he was the highest averaging player. Anyway, who do you trade him to? Look, if you can get him to Boak or someone like that, or if you can get him to Laird, if he doesn't play. If he plays, I'll be holding. But if he doesn't play, then if you can get him to Laird, that pockets you 100 odd K to then upgrade somewhere else. But for me, if I trade him to Laird, it doesn't really get me to anyone. It doesn't get me to Boak, who I want. So yeah, if you can go to Laird, it pockets you a bit of cash, but or Jones, as I said, but Tom Stewart's another option, but there's not too many jumping out in the back line there. Also, Jake Lloyd, if you don't have him, obviously, there. Um, best value slash underpriced premium mids. I've answered a few of these ones, but I do think Merritt is definitely underpriced. I think he'll definitely probably push to be a top 8 mid, so yeah, Merritt, but if you're looking for a pod, then Fiorini. Goonbag Fantasies. Who should I downgrade out of Scrimshaw, Dersma, and Constable to upgrade Libba to Josh Kelly? Dersma goes first, Scrimshaw second, and Constable third out of those ones. More essential to try to upgrade in the forward line or defence? Good question. Sly by name. Personally, it just depends on your structure. So say if you're like me and you had Scrimshaw, Hoare, and Stack on your field, I'd be trying to upgrade your defence. But if you got just Scrimshaw and Hoare, say, and then you had Myers, Drew, and Parker, say, then you've definitely got to get Parker off your field. So it just depends on who you've got in the rookie wise. So just try and even it out and try and make sure you've got competent players on your field. You don't want to be fielding Parker, Atkins, or Stack at this stage. You want to be fielding guys you're confident of getting your 65, 70s. So yeah, just whoever you're least confident about, then upgrade. They're your major. They make them your priority. Get off your field. So thoughts on Jacob Dawson? I just have to have a look at him. Give me a sec. Yeah, he's averaging 84. He's a Swans. Sorry, he's. I think he has been playing a fair bit of mid time for the Swans, but at 510k, like it is a little bit of a downgrade from Libba, but he's just that awkward price. Like he's cheaper than Walsh. So I just no, no, I don't like Jacob Dawson. Um, fell for the dusty DPP hype. Is it too early to trade out? Look, no, it's not too early to trade out. I was probably going to do that if I didn't have anything else to do. Like he was that cheap, but yeah, he's really disappointing. He doesn't have that. He's not doesn't. It just looks like he's not trying out there this year. He is being tagged a lot, so it's a bit of a worry. If you can get to someone like Boak, then definitely do it. But if you can't really get to anyone, I suppose you just got to hold. Footy Fantasy AM says hold, sheed, or trade. Keep your money as Gold Coast next week at home. Yeah, sheed. Jeez, it was his week to step it up this week and show owners that he can still play some footy. But disappointing. I think he had a 60. So yeah, I'd be trading Sheed. Yeah, he just not what he was at the start of the year. So I'd be trading him. Yeah. Mr. AFL Fantasy says, do we trade McRae or not? He versus Richmond next week. Last time he played against him, he scored 190. Look, Mr. AFL Fantasy, I do watch your videos, but I'm not totally on board your decisions of trading out premiums. I think you should stay strong with your premiums. Do not trade out McRae. He will still be in the top 8 midfielders. Unless one of your premiums is injured, I definitely wouldn't. And they're doing it like still got in the top 6 or 8 in their position, then I would not be trading him. So look, hold McRae. Hopefully, Paul's had a good score for you this week. But just with sideways trading premiums, real quick, if you do it, you got to look at your team and you think, is this really? Am I getting anywhere with this? Am I getting rookies off my ground? And am I completing my team quicker by doing it? For example, Whitfield to Laird. Um, since Whitfield he might not be playing this week, so you'd be fielding a rookie instead. Like that would be a successful premium sideways trade, but I just don't think you can be trading premiums, like just swapping premiums at this stage of the year. You got to be getting rookies off your ground. Anyway, AFL Fantasy 2019 says thoughts on Libba down to Ainsworth, then move Ross onto field, then upgrade Bolter or Parker to Boak. Yeah, I do like that. That's a solid trade there. How you can get Ross on your field. Ross is looking really good. Jeez, I'm mad I missed the boat with that. And also, as I think he's going to be a good cash cow. And then definitely go Bolter to Boak or Parker. They're both useless to Boak. I think that might be it soon, or a few more. So Sam says, thoughts on Libba to Merritt and Crisp to Stewart. I'll tick off Libba to Merritt. Crisp to Stewart. It's kind of one of those sideways trading premiums, but I do think Chris won't be a top 6 defender. I think Stewart could be. So yeah, if you have a luxury, do that. And definitely Libba to Merritt's a good trade there. Sean says who to trade, Libba to mid or forward. Okay, so I've talked about this. Lots of questions about Libba today. I'll just go over it one more time. I do think Boak would be your number one option if you don't have him. And then I've spoken probably about 10 midfielders that you could get behind Boak there. So you're looking at the likes of where is he? Fiorini, Gaff. I do like Neil as well as Jager O'Meara. Cripps as well if you don't have Cripps, but a lot of people do have Cripps, as well as the play Canelio and Rocky. There's a lot of players you could get upgrade Libba to, the top 8 mids isn't really set at the moment, so just back whoever you think are going to be in that top 8. So if you think Gaff or Josh Kelly even they're going to be in the top 8, then just go for them. But another player I really do like is Zach Merritt. Zach Merritt. And I've gone through the questions, all those questions there sent in. So thanks for that, guys. I hope you got a little bit out of that. I know I was babbling on a little bit towards the end, but hopefully it all kind of made sense to you. And thanks for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe for weekly videos. Sorry I didn't get it out last night. Had a few problems with recording, as I've said. But yeah, like the video, and good luck for this week, and I'll see you in the next one.